I think that owning multiple roosters is admirable, and honestly, it's a great experience, but it really is a learning curve, and we have learned so much in housing these boys. Just recently, we had something happen that really was unexpected. It just goes to show you the importance of sort of keeping a finger on the pulse and being in tune with what's going on so you can avert problems before they happen. It's early in March. This is Blondie. We have a love-hate relationship. He likes to go after my legs. Sometimes we get along just fine. Other days not so much. And I try to be assertive without being threatening, and most of the time this is what I get, just little pecks at my boots, which is fine. It's when he full out attacks my legs that I really don't like that. But what I want to talk to you about today are these two guys. So normally, always, these guys are buds. They were hatched together. They've always been together, but as you can see from their combs and their wattles, they are a mess. These two got in a fight, and it was out of the blue, but now that I think about it, it really wasn't. We had a very unusual weather system come in very quickly, and what happened was we actually dropped over 20 degrees in the span of about 12 hours, and it was extremely windy out, and it got cold very quickly. So we literally went from sort of the kind of day it is today, peaceful, sunny, to panic mode. And I think that's exactly what happened. These boys started to panic, and maybe aggression kind of set in the excitement. And anyway, I came out to check their waters and get them sealed up and protected from the weather that was coming, and found a bloody mess, literally. So they have been in isolation from one another for the last 3 days. We've just kept them in their individual coops with the doors partially open, but not enough that they can actually come out. And these coops are actually pretty big inside. They have a lot of room, so they've got their water in there. They've got a feed shelf in the middle that goes through to the other side. They've got a low perch and a high perch, and so they can kick around and scratch around, and we'll put scratch down for them or give them some kitchen treats sometimes. So not like they were in prison, but obviously they prefer the open air and being out in the sunshine, and it's nice to be able to let them out again. So just a caution, if you do have multiple roosters, even if they do get along, I think I would say never feel like they're 100% okay together if you're not around. You want to be keeping an eye on them, because the last thing we want to have happen is for these guys to be injured or worse. Now, when I came out, they were actually both in the same enclosure here, and they were getting along fine. But by that point, yeah, it wasn't great. Hi, babies. Hello, the bird. You can see some blood down there from when the boys fought. So it started outside and then they ended up inside. And the problem is that we have a monitor that we can listen in, and we hear if something came and attacked them, they would all go crazy. And we always look out the windows when we hear any commotion. But unfortunately, when roosters are fighting, there really is no commotion. They're quiet about it. They bristle their feathers and start hacking each other, but they don't make sounds that we could recognize as problems. And so it makes it a little bit tricky. You got to be looking out kind of very frequently through the day to make sure peace reigns. Isn't that right, beautiful? Hi. Oh, look at you. Oh, look at you. You did a number on one another, didn't you? I'm still a little cautious, so just keeping an eye on them. This is the first time they've been together since that fight. Fortunately, they are in pens that are side by side with just mesh between them, so they're used to seeing one another, they're used to being close to one another, and and normally they hang out together and there's no issue. So hopefully this isn't changing, because obviously if it is, we'll have to make other arrangements to make sure that they have their own runs and they can't hurt one another. But at this point, I'm gonna chalk it up to they had a bad day. So my message for today is keep an eye on your roosters. We love them. We need to keep them safe and safe from each other too.